Play fake. They throw it to Hearn. Behind the line to the 10. Hearn, you to the 5-yard line. Dives for the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville!
Turning around, Osweiler hands it off up the middle into the end zone. Lamar Miller, touchdown, Houston.
Rosie, Blake and Brock this weekend.
Oh.
Woo! AFC South. All right.
That feels derisive and disrespectful.
It's not.
Frankly.
Usually all we do is talk about Brock Osweiler when we refer to the Texans. Not this time. We're going to start with something different. What do you like right now about the Texans?
Well, that's a good question because no one ever talks about why. They have won 7 games for reasons because of their defense. Even without J.J. Watt, Romeo Crennel is doing a great job, and it really starts up front. Whitney Merciless is the best, most underrated pass rusher.
Underrated.
No one really talks about, and I think he's having his best season. Jadeveon Clowney has made the leap. Big time in the run game. Also had the big strip sack last week. Probably was the biggest play of his career. And then Bernardrick McKinney. Not a guy you hear about a lot. Inside linebacker with a lot of instincts. He showed it last week in the key play against Indianapolis. He breaks up a screen, basically ends the Colts season.
Ends it.
So that's
no
something.
Watt, no problem. What about on the offensive side of the ball and Brock Osweiler, though, because we do have to talk about him?
Well,
wasn't his worst performance last week?
No, I don't think he played well. If you only watch the fourth quarter of games against the Colts, you would think, okay, this is working out. He has played pretty well in the fourth quarter of the 2 games against the Colts. He had a really bad game, I thought, before the fourth quarter. I think they can still make the playoffs despite him. They've kind of shown the recipe the last few weeks, and the schedule is money. They're going to be favored the next 2 weeks at home against some pretty bad teams like the Jaguars.
I don't know,
the
though.
Bengals
Brock,
next week. Just win those 2 games and you're in.
It just feels like when I'm watching Brock, his eyes just go here, and then that's it. Like, nobody else, no other progressions, just one.
And then when he throws it there and they intercept it, and then they go like here.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, no,
I know. So eyes there, hands there. That's Brock Osweiler. Okay. How about we talk about the Jags, because there's been a lot of darkness surrounding the Jaguars season.
Is coming.
What about a ray of light?
How about the fact that Marquise Lee has been their most consistent receiver this
The albino tiger.
And that sounds like a name that some message board made up. No, that was his position coach who once called him the albino tiger because you never saw him because he's always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Every week he makes plays. He's really good when there's tight coverage, that he can make plays against contested catches. And you think about Allen Hurns, who got a huge contract, Allen Robinson, who was one of the best wide receivers in the league last year. It is the upset of the century that Lee, I believe, has been their best receiver this year. They have a little nice group there for the next coach.
It's been a shame, too, because when you look at the guys that they have at the positions, it looks like on paper they should be good. Julius Thomas, I mean, maybe that's a callback from a while ago, but...
Maybe that's good news, though, for their next head coach. I don't think it's going to be Gus Bradley or their next quarterback. It might not be Blake Bortles, but you got some pieces to work with.
So they're not going to win this week. Is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I am taking the Texans. This is a division game where neither offense is going to score much.
I'm taking the Texans, too. Jags, Texans, 1 o'clock on Sunday.